I have 6 of the most incredible chess puzzles that you've ever seen. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. I did save the best for last, but they're all pretty incredible. These are going to make you smile. Let's just jump right in with position number 1. So white's pawns are going forward. You can see there's 3 against 2, but the big problem is this king sitting here is going to start gobbling up the pawns, and your king is too far away to really help. But there is an amazing move. If you would like to pause, what do you think the winning move is for white? There's only one correct move. Well, if you had a chance to look at that, the move is the amazing d6. And it kind of doesn't make sense because it looks like, wait a second, we're just losing our pawn and then the king's going to take our pawn. Like, why would we do that? The idea is that after black captures, we don't take back, we push the other pawn. And now you might start to see the idea. We're threatening to take here and get a queen, so black has to take us. The king can't really sneak around in time, or they're just too slow, right? So they say, okay, well, I'll just take your other pawn. And now the winning move is f6. f6 because the king is too far to stop our pawn. And actually, it's funny because if this pawn wasn't here, it would be able to go there and then there and stop us. But black's own pawns are in the way of the king, and our pawn is going to become a queen way before these guys do. And we simply win the game because we get the queen first. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations if you saw that. And let's move on to the second position. All right, here's the next one. It's white to play and win. And there are 2 bishops against the rook. Now, what you need to understand is that if you ever make this trade, okay, bishop for a rook, you cannot win. There is no way possible to get a checkmate with just a king and a bishop. So you have to somehow figure out a way to win without ever letting black's rook take one of your bishops. Okay, that's why this position is tricky. If you would like to pause, what's the winning move for white? If you had a chance to look at that, this one is actually not too bad. Bishop to c6 check, puts king in check, and if the king moves here, you've now stepped into a pin. And why is that dangerous? Because now we have a follow-up move with our bishop. Bishop to e8. This is what's called a waiting move in chess. We're just going to say, look, I don't really want to play right now. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to force you to move. And now, because of the situation of your king, the rook is pinned. Guess what black has to do? They have to move their king away from the defense of the rook. We simply grab the rook for free. And now we have 2 bishops, which is enough to checkmate. I have videos on the channel talking about this kind of stuff if you want to watch those, but this is not too difficult to do. You can actually win the game. And going back, there was one other option here. This. Black could have blocked with the rook. Remember, we don't want to take it because we need to make sure we keep both of our bishops. But what do we do here? This one is actually pretty tricky because if you thought, well, we'll just do a waiting move with our bishop, you are mistaken. Why? Because black can't move here with the king, can't move here with the king. The rook is pinned. That's what's called a stalemate. Black has no moves. Okay, you can't do anything. That's a draw. So what we needed to do instead was king to a1. We do a waiting move, but with our king. But it's the same idea. We've got the rook pinned. We've got the king cut off. So the king is forced now to move somewhere that's no longer defending the rook. We get the rook and we win the game. So a little bit tricky there. You had to dodge that stalemate trap, but ultimately this is a win for white. All right, let's go to the third puzzle. Here we go. Now, let me explain to you what's going on in this position. It's white's turn. You can notice that the king is in check, and there are 2 rooks that white has. And so you might be thinking, Nelson, this seems kind of ridiculous. Just take the rook. You're up 2 rooks. You're going to win the game, right? Wrong. Because again, we see a stalemate. Okay, look at this. Black's king is not in check, but they can't move, and it's their turn. That's a stalemate. That's a draw, right? We don't want that. So the problem for white is that if you take the rook, you have a stalemate. So you say, oh, I won't take it. I'll just move away. But black is smart enough to know what's going on, and guess what? Check again. They say, please take my rook. They want a stalemate. So if you like to pause, how do we get out of this? How do we get away from the rook that's going to constantly check us and avoid the stalemate trap that black is trying to do? If you had a chance to look at that, the idea is simply this. King to c3, check. King to b2, check. King to a1. And notice what we have done. We've defended our king with the rooks. And why is this important? Because if black continues to do the same strategy, We don't have to take it with our king now and get the stalemate. We take it with the rook, which opens up some spaces or a space for the king to move. No longer a stalemate, simply checkmate. So that's what you had to see there. And by the way, if you're wondering, black didn't have to go there. They could have played some random move. Let's just say they move their rook here. But what you're going to do is just bring your rook back, threaten checkmate. There's no longer any stalemate tricks. You're going to double up, cutting the king off. And eventually you're going to be able to force something like this, where you can force a trade of rooks. And that's going to lead to a simple rook and king against king, which you should be able to checkmate. Again, I have videos on the channel teaching this if you don't know, but it's relatively straightforward. You make a box and you win the game. Pretty nice. All right, let's go to the fourth puzzle, and they really start to get interesting here now. All right, it's white to play and win. White's pawns are going forward in this direction. What move should white play to win? Well, you probably looked at this pawn, and you probably said, Nelson, it looks pretty obvious. You go here and you get a queen because the rook can't stop you, right? You'll take it if it goes there, and if it goes here where there's a pawn blocking, you just get the queen. Like, what's the big deal? Like, this doesn't make any sense, right? Black plays the move rook to g3. And they're attacking your pawn, threatening to take and go here. Okay, fine. You say that doesn't do anything. Let me get the queen. Black just tricked you. Okay, black just tricked you because rook takes e3 is a fork. So you have to take it. Otherwise, they're going to take your queen. But when you take it, guess what? Here we go again. It's another stalemate. The black king has no moves. And again, this stalemate idea saves black, okay? So if that doesn't work, how do you win the game from this position? Well, the answer is you push the pawn. And the answer is you push the pawn again, but you don't get a queen. You push the pawn and you get a rook. Because you still have enough pieces to win the game, but black's trick no longer works. Because guess what? Now, this is not a queen, which means you're not controlling that square. It's only a rook, which means the king can move somewhere. It's not a stalemate. The game goes on. You're going to be able to checkmate relatively easily, and you win. So again, we see this idea of avoiding the stalemate tricks and traps. And in this case, we had to do it with an under promotion. So for those of you who are wondering, like, why would you ever get a piece other than a queen? This is exactly why. Okay, a lot of these composed puzzles have these moments where the only way to win is to get something other than a queen. Believe it or not, there's actually situations where getting a knight and even getting a bishop is the only way to win a game. I have videos on the channel with some of those puzzles, so check those out if you're interested, but it's pretty fascinating when you think about it. Now, I have saved the best for last, but before we jump into this crazy position, I just want to mention my course, Breaking 1500, is for anybody who's under 1500 who seems to be stuck. If you want to improve your rating, play better chess, have more fun, win more games, all that kind of stuff. There's a link in the description, or you can go to breaking1500.com. The testimonies have been amazing from students who've already taken the course, and the progress that they've made has been just incredible. So if you want to check that out, like I said, links in the description or breaking1500.com. Now, let's talk about this position. So what you will notice is that white has the queen and the knight. Black has a lot of pawns, this rook which is stuck in the corner, a queen, but there is this discover check. Okay, it's white to play, and there's only one winning move. This is a pretty advanced one, so don't feel bad if you don't see all the lines that you're about to see. But what do you think the winning move is for white? All right, if you had a chance to look at that. So let's just start with the wrong move, okay? The wrong move is actually taking the bishop. And it kind of makes sense at first glance because it's like, well, wait a second, it's a free bishop, it's with check, and if the king tries to move, well, I'll just come in for the checkmate, which, okay, that seems pretty logical. The problem is black doesn't have to move the king. They won't move the king. They will push their pawn, okay? And if you think to yourself, well, no big deal, I'll just take the pawn, and now I have the discover check again. I got rid of the bishop. I got rid of the pawn. This is looking pretty good, right? Wrong. Black has an amazing move. By the way, I don't know if I said this earlier. Black's pawns are going this way, okay? They're going down the board towards the bottom, okay? So just keep that in mind. This is the amazing move. Sacrificing the queen for your knight. And even though you take it with check, black's going to go king g2 to get away from your check. And it's a discovered check with their rook. So you don't have time to like do anything with your queen. It's not a big deal. I'll just move my king, take a pawn. I'm up a queen. I'm fine, right? Wrong, because black has an amazing move. Look at this. Rook to e1, sacrificing the rook. Why? Because when you recapture, guess what? Now they get a queen. And now it's all of a sudden a different story. You can try to run, but the queen's going to come over. This guy is close. They can now use their queen to defend against your queen, probably force a trade, and black's going to win this game. Okay? So all that to say, going back to the original position, all that to say that knight takes bishop was the wrong move. Okay? That's why you had to avoid that. The winning move is knight to d5 check. And the reason why this is the winning move is pretty amazing. All right? So first of all, it's check on the king, of course. If the king just tries to move, we've talked about this earlier, queen f2 is going to be checkmate, so that doesn't work. Okay, so of course, black is going to push the pawn to block the check. Now, if you would like to pause again, there's only one move here, and this probably, I think, is the most difficult moment in the position. All right, if you had a chance to look at that, the move is queen to f4. Only winning move. Now, let's just briefly talk. If you thought you could grab the pawn here and again create this, it doesn't work. There's going to be queen g3 check, forces your king to move. Black's going to get another queen, and you're going to lose the game. There's two queens. You don't have anything left at this point. Okay, so the only move is queen to f4. Now, queen to f4 is such a wild-looking move for a couple of reasons. Number one, why would you want to trade queens when you're trying to checkmate and you're down so much material? That doesn't make sense. Number two, you're giving your knight for free if black wants to. Like, black has all kinds of options here. So it just seems like a ridiculous move. Here's what's going on. Let's actually start with the most obvious. If they just try to trade queens, look what happens. Knight takes queen, and black finds themselves in what's called Zugzwang. Zugzwang is when you have to move, but you don't want to move. Because if black could pass right now and say, you know what, I don't want to move, you go ahead, white, move whatever you want, I don't really care. Everything is defended. This is defended, so you can't take that. This is defended, so you can't take that. There's nothing that the knight could really do. But you can't pass in chess, so black has to move. But look carefully, the rook is trapped. The king is actually trapped. You can't go here, right? That's not an option. The pawns are stuck. The only move is bishop g2, which unleashes or undefends this pawn. White captured it, and that's checkmate with the knight. A smothered checkmate with the knight. That's disgusting, right? That's the idea. So that is why, going back to this position, black can't trade queens, or they put themselves in Zugzwang and they get checkmated by the knight. However, you say, well, what if they get rid of the pesky knight? Just take it. What are you going to do now if you are white? Well, this one wasn't too bad. You simply take the pawn with check, which forces the king to move, and then queen to f2 again is going to be checkmate. Okay, so you can't get away with taking that. Now, wait a second, because black is not out of tricks yet. So we've talked about if they take the queen. We've talked about if they take the knight. But what if they go queen to g3 check on your king? Now what do? Well, you only have one option, really. Your king is stuck, right? The pawns are trapping your king. The bishop is here. You have to either give up your queen and lose, or you have to take it. So you have to take. They take you back, but now what do? White to play and win. It's knight to f4, which is again putting black in Zugzwang, but no, this one's even more amazing. Okay, we've already saw this idea. If the bishop moves here, the same checkmate exists, right? But now if the pawn pushes, the other move that black has, guess what? Knight takes h3 is also checkmate because the pawn is blocking the bishop. This is incredible, right? There's two different smothered checkmates depending on which piece black moves. Amazing, okay? So that's what happens against queen g3, but wait a second. Black has another trick up their sleeve, and they play instead the move, wait for it, bishop to g2. Now, before I say anything, what do you think the move is for white? You had a chance to look at that. Hopefully you didn't say take the queen, because if you take the queen, even though it's a free queen, look carefully. Where is black going to move? The bishop is now pinned, so the bishop can't move. The rook is stuck in the corner. These pawns can't move. They're blockaded. These can't move. They're blockaded. The king can't move. Uh-oh. Again, we have a stalemate. The game is a draw. It's a tie. You don't win. That's not what you want. So you actually can't take black's queen. Very, very sneaky move here. Okay? So what you needed to do was play the move. Sorry, not that one. You needed to play the move knight to c3. Knight to c3, and you're threatening to come in here with that checkmate on e2 again. Okay? So for example, if black takes your queen, boom. Checkmate. Beautiful, right? If black doesn't take the queen and instead goes queen a5, pinning your knight, do you see the way to win now? That's correct. Queen takes e3 is just checkmate, so they can't do that. And if black decides to go back to f1 with the bishop to defend, well, now you can take the queen because it's check. And after the bishop goes back, guess what? The knight jumps in, and there's the checkmate again. So pretty amazing stuff when you think about it. It all had to do with these smothered checkmates with the knight, but you had to be careful on the exact order that you did it. Absolutely incredible. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. And now I did save the best for last. We have this position. Now, this position is interesting because it almost looks like this could have come from a real game. I don't believe that it did, but it looks like it could have. White to play and win, and be careful because black does have some serious threats here that you have to watch out for. White to play and win, what's the winning move? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, hopefully you noticed that there is the open A file, and maybe we can use that to attack the king. But the way that you actually use it is kind of mind-boggling, okay? And here's what it is. Rook to A1 check, rook to A8 check. Okay, and we're hoping that the king comes up here because guess what? Pawn to B6 is checkmate. What you say, Nelson, they don't have to move there. They just take your rook and say, thank you very much. Guess what? Rook to A1 check. And you're probably thinking, so we have like the same position except we gave up a rook, right? Exactly. There goes the other rook. Where's Levy when you need him, right? Where's Levy when you need him about the rook sacrifice? You got to take it because if you come up, it's checkmate. Now, why did we do that? Because the queen comes over and the king goes back. And now you're probably thinking, yeah, let's just sack the other. I mean, let's just sack all our pieces, right? Why not? Well, you're partly right, but we don't sack this one on A8. We sack it on A7. Why? Because this guy is going to be the hero, sort of. Not really, but he's going to play a role. Queen A7 check. Now, what's going on? First of all, if the king tries to escape, you win. B6 and checkmate. Okay? You can't do that. And if you try to escape over here, it's the same thing. Check and checkmate. Notice the knight is stopping the escape square. So, black has to take you. But when they do, you want to pause again. What's the winning move for white? You had a chance to look at that. Hopefully, you were able to solve this one. It's knight to C6, which is a double check, which is important. Because if it wasn't a double check, black would either take your knight or they would take your bishop. But because it's double check, they can't take either one. Whenever you're in a double check, you have to move your king off of the square. That's the only way to get out of it. So they have to move the king. You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't go there. You have to go into the corner. And guess what? Knight to B6 is a beautiful double knight checkmate. After you sacrificed both rooks and your queen, I mean, all the while black has all of these pieces. Absolutely incredible. If you're not smiling right now, then I don't think you should keep playing chess because these positions are just amazing. So I had so much fun making this video, and I hope you guys appreciated those. Don't forget, Breaking 1500 is opening up again on October 14th. Links in the description. Check it out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. As always, stay sharp, play smart, and take care.